Well, how you doing, everybody? This is Jay Nanda, San Antonio Metal Music Examiner with Examiner.com. Sitting out here on a beautiful night in San Antonio with drummer extraordinaire and San Antonio's own Bobby Jarzombek. How you doing?
What's up, buddy?
Awesome. It's great to see you again.
Yeah, you
It's the
too.
first time we've seen each other, I think, since November of '09, right around the time Halford's Christmas album came out.
Wow.
And it was here in this neck of the woods, so it's great to see you.
Yeah.
If you don't know, for those of you who do or don't know, Bobby plays in a ton of bands, and we have a lot to talk about. Rob Halford solo band, Sebastian Bach solo band, Fates Warning, Riot, Spastic Inc. I'm sure I'm missing a few, but we'll probably start, I guess, in reverse chronological order. You just returned last weekend playing overseas with Fates Warning, I believe in Holland and Germany.
Yeah, yeah.
Talk about that. How did that go?
Yeah, that was cool. I mean, it's been a while since I played with the guys, so it was great to get back out on the road with them and work a little bit. I really like them a lot. I like the music. Haven't been able to play on any CDs with the guys yet, but so we're still playing past catalog, and we've talked about working on a new CD. I recently did a project with the rest of the guys from Fates Warning, minus Ray Alder, the singer, with the old singer, previous singer from Fates Warning, with John Arch, and that's the Arch Mateus. So that was a cool project, but it was good to. It was really great to get out on the road, and just we only did 4 shows, but it was really cool. Kind of a really a tight schedule. We did 4 shows in 4 days, and we traveled in a little van, cargo van, and we had 4 shows in 4 nights, and 1 rehearsal the day before on the day we flew in. So it was cool, though. It was a lot of fun, and really dig playing with the guys.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the Arch Mateus project. I just found out about that a couple days ago. I think, what was it? You just kind of laid down some drum tracks. Do you know anything about the progress of how that project is coming along, album-wise?
Yeah, Jim's been keeping me updated just with emails, and we talked about it, of course, when we were out on the road. Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where we talked about. Jim asked me if I wanted to do it, and he said that he might ask the other guys in Fates to do the record also, and it was nobody talked about it for a long time, and we did the exchanging files sort of thing on the internet, and I demoed some stuff on my Pro Tools at home and sending him, going back and forth with ideas and making changes. So I worked on that for probably on and off for about a year. I would say it's when we started. And doing a little bit here and there, and then when my schedule with Halford ended right before Christmas, I really buckled down and learned the remaining 10 minutes or whatever that I still was lacking of learning all the material.
Right.
It's like 6 songs. Some of the songs have sections, and 3 songs are over 10 minutes long. Really cool stuff. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't typical verse chorus, follow everything in the box kind of thing. It was. I got to experiment a lot on the drumming and come up with some really interesting ideas. Jim programs drums very well, so it was nice that I kind of took what he did with the programming, and I decided to kind of go off that and do something completely different, or kind of stick to that. But it was wide open for me, and it really made things nice, and I was allowed to play a lot on the record. So I'm really excited about it.
Great. Well, Bobby's getting a great start off to his personal 2011. I know 2010 was a massive year for you. Pretty much, I think, broken down into 2 halves almost. Some of it was Sebastian Bach, the other half with Rob Halford. I guess I'll start with the Halford band.
Okay.
I believe Made of Metal, Halford's 4 CD, came out September 28th, I want to say.
Okay.
And you guys went on the Ozfest tour, went on an extended tour with Ozzy, which just barely missed here in San Antonio at the AT&T Center. We are doing this interview on February 17th, and Ozzy and Slash were in town on January 24th, which was almost your gig. with Halford,
Yeah.
but Rob, of course, went back to Judas Priest in January, so Slash took over. But tell me about how, with the new album and the tour that you guys did with Halford, how was that experience this year?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, we hadn't done any live shows since 2003, so it was, it was something long overdue getting back out on the road with Rob, and it's definitely great. We did Japan, South America, as you mentioned, Ozfest, and then the tour with Ozzy, leaving something out here and there. But we did pretty much 4 to 6 months worth of work, I guess. And yeah, it's great anytime you have the opportunity to play with Rob and to perform with Rob. It's amazing. And the guys, like brothers to me, Metal Mike Z and Mike Davis. So it was definitely great to get back out and play with the guys.
And with Rob announcing that Priest is starting their farewell tour, I know he has also said that will give him more attention in the future to Halford, which obviously is great news for you,
Yeah,
because
sure.
a lot of people probably wondered, does that mean the end of the Halford band as well? And apparently it doesn't. So, have you guys discussed future
No,
happenings
I
going
mean,
on?
I know that Rob has kind of left it open, and that he had mentioned that we would work together again, and there was a little bit of talk, about what are we going to do, and about the next record and that sort of thing. But, those are all, kind of
Preliminary.
preliminary. There you go. Talks, and so I'm sure that we'll get down to it. We'll get down into talking about the next record. I think, it always seems like when we start talking about what are we going to do, there's a little bit of a direction in mind, about where the band wants to go. And so I'm sure that when it comes down to that, once Rob, he's got a farewell tour with Priest, and who knows how long that's going to take, and he's got a new record with those guys. So, who knows, I could be working with Halford, in the later part of this year, or it could be, a couple of years from now. Not really sure, but, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
And of course, we mentioned that Bobby plays with Sebastian Bach. I believe I've seen Sebastian posting that he's going to enter the studio this Monday.
Right.
I believe. So I believe Angel Down, the last solo record, came out in 2007, if I'm not mistaken. So any clues you can give us on what the recording sessions might be like, what the new album might sound like, when it might come out, and obviously your role in that?
Well, Sebastian's going into pre-production on Monday.
Okay.
So I know that they have some final arrangements. They have some more writing to do. There's those sort of things. So I'm not exactly sure when I'll be called in to start recording drums, but I know that they still have some work to do. So yeah, I'll find out probably within the next couple of weeks when I'm going to be involved. But they still have to. I think. Producer Bob Marlette, Sebastian, Nick, the guitar player, and maybe there's going to be a couple of other people involved. I'm not sure, as far as writing and arranging the songs. And they're going to send me the stuff, and I'll learn the songs, fly up, and record my drums. So we'll see when that all happens. But yeah, it's going to be great.
How did the tour go last year? I know with Sebastian, I know you guys had a couple of harrowing experiences in South America, I think, with the weather and tornadoes. What was that like?
Yeah, it was cool. Doing the shows with Guns N' Roses, it was long. We did a lot of work with those guys in Canada and then in South America. South America is always great. Anytime you get the chance to go down there and do some shows. So yeah, it was cool all the way around. I've got video footage that I've posted on my YouTube channel from half of that tour. I took a lot of video footage, so I'm planning to, when I get some time to edit the rest of it, I'll put that out there. But as you can see, if you checked out any of that on my YouTube channel, there's some cool stuff. It was definitely an adventure.
Now, I find it hard to believe that with all the bands that you play in, you very rarely play your hometown here in San Antonio with anybody.
True.
A lot of bands play mostly just overseas or in Europe, wherever. We just barely missed you, like we said, with Halford. I think the only Texas date was Dallas that you guys did in December.
Sure.
When was the last time you played here?
Well, I actually played in town with Riot when we were doing warm-up shows for 2000, summer 2009. I think it was Sweden Rock and maybe something else that Riot was doing. We played in town, and that was a warm-up show. But as far as like the bigger venues that I've been doing, yeah, it would have been 2000 with Iron Maiden.
Wow.
Halford Queensryche.
I remember that too.
Yeah. That was in 2000 on my birthday. So yeah, it was over 10 years ago. But I mean, it's just one of those things. You know, you can't determine or you can't predict where you're going to play. And it seems like I was in Canada in the upper northeast U.S. with Sebastian at the beginning of 2010. And then out there doing that same old run with Halford in the end of 2010. So, and then of course going to Japan just about every year, and South America twice last year. So, I mean, you can never predict. So, I mean, it kind of sucks, I mean, especially because I wanted to be doing the Halford Ozzy thing, at the AT&T Center. That would have been nice. But hey, I mean, I'm not complaining or anything.